Good morning, and welcome to another episode of One on One. I am thrilled and happy today to be in a place that I love, brings me joy. Of course, it is the place in Shelby County where southern skies shine the brightest, and that is Vincent, Alabama. Of course, many of you know this is where I started my career, and of course, there's so many people here that I love and care for, and always enjoy coming back to a place that I call home. And with that said, I'm here to interview an amazing student. I'm sure that you all will be amazed at some of the things that is going on for him and certainly for some of the things that he's doing here at Vincent High School. And so with that said, I'd like to introduce everyone to Aiden Poe. Aiden, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having me. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So for everybody out there, I want you to know that Aiden is an amazing baseball player.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And, of course, Aiden, you guys had a tremendous run last year in the baseball program. So I want to actually just start out with you sharing what that meant to you and, of course, your teammates. So talk a little bit about last year's run, and we'll get into this year.
Yes, sir. I mean, it was the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Everybody was really excited. We got to go to state for the first time in over 20 years. Sure. And those seniors were really impactful. Our community's so much behind us here at Vincent, and so it's really important for our community.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys are making a run this year. Tell us about the record and tell us what's going on right now with baseball.
Yes, sir. So last year we finished 30-7 total after playoffs and everything, and right now we're 22-3.
Nice.
So we're really excited. We're looking forward to it. We don't have our playoff match solidified yet. There's a 3-way tie in the other area.
Right.
But it's looking good, and we're excited to go.
Yeah. So the reputation that you have as a baseball player, of course, people talk about your pitching. They say you throw strikes.
Yes, sir.
And I've actually watched that. So I've also people have talked about your personal preparation and work ethic. So share with us what drives you to focus on being the best that you can be.
Yeah, so it's always kind of been internalized for me that I've always just been able to motivate myself. But one of our coaches here, Coach Smiley, shared a quote with me one time that really stuck, and it was, determination is always going to show up when motivation can't. So everybody gets motivated on New Year's or whenever, but when you are determined to do what you're going to do, when motivation leaves, you're still, I've got to get it done. I'm going to do it. Sure. And so learning that in school, I think school comes first when it comes to determination.
No question.
And so the fact that I'm getting my stuff done in school and out of school makes it a whole lot easier to do it, doing the things I really love with baseball.
Nice. So talk a little bit about, I mean, we've talked about school, kind of hinted at it, but what are some of the things that you do outside of school that you feel like is a hobby other than baseball?
I'm in youth leadership at Shelby County.
I love that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
How's that going?
It's going really well. I love my group. I've loved all of the class days. We just had our last class day, and so it's really taught me a lot about different careers that I want to look into and help me network with different people.
Yeah.
And the students they're so similar to me, so it's nice being able to meet with other people that I know, and some that you've interviewed that are very similar in character to me.
Sure.
And then I cook a lot with my friends. I love food.
Yeah.
So
we had a little conversation about food off camera.
Yeah. Huh? So I cook. We have wiffle ball sometimes. It's just really whatever you can find to do in Vincent.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool. So, to the audience, you have committed to the Air Force in your junior year. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about why you felt like that was the commitment that you needed to make. I know, you've got a lot of schools that have been interested in you, but obviously you've made a decision moving forward about baseball and where you're going to be. So talk about that decision and how it came to fruition.
Well, it's really important for me to serve others and serve myself, and so I feel like when I got there, that was the best opportunity to do that. and they have a great baseball program. It's a leadership school. Everyone there is a leader. And the coaches, Coach Kozlowski, the head coach, and Coach Winkler, the pitching coach, have really formed such a great connection with me. And my parents said when we were there that it's the easiest yes they've ever made, and that they felt so comfortable with the coaches just because it was immediately they saw them as father figures, and everyone on the campus knows Coach Kaz and says that he's the best leader on campus. So he would walk around my whole visit and pull a random. They would have NASA students pointing telescopes at the sky, and he'd walk up to him and say, "What's your why?" And they'd say their why for why they're at the academy. So that really just got in my blood and made me. It excited me. So the people there are very similar to me, and it embodied everything I am as a person.
Sure. So we've talked a little bit. I want to go back to leadership. We've talked about that, and you shared something with me off camera about leadership.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Will you share that with the audience?
Yeah. On one of my recruitment calls with Coach Kaz, he was asking, character traits, stuff like that, and I told him I'm going to be the leader that leads your leaders. And so I've done it with leadership Shelby County, and everyone in there's leading, but the ability to, no matter the age, lead people. I've been playing varsity baseball since 7th grade, and so even at that age, if I see something I can help with, I've never been scared to speak up, because I believe that leading is the most important thing you can do. And so it's important to know when there's too much going on, when you're overstimulating somebody or something like that. It's really important to know the boundaries, but I'm never scared to speak up and make myself heard.
I love that. And what's interesting is that some people see that as a skill set. I see that as a mindset. And I think when you have that mindset, you can do anything, you can overcome anything, and you can go anywhere, and people will follow you. Ultimately, as leaders, we want people to follow us in a great direction, and we want to empower, we want to inspire people. And so that, hearing you say that off camera, I'm glad that you shared that with the audience, because that's so important for young people, certainly, to look to and to try to pursue in their lives. So I appreciate that.
And I think some people sometimes get following and listening confused. And that's something I've had to work on, is just because I'm listening to everyone's input doesn't mean I'm necessarily being a follower. Sometimes it's right to follow, and everyone has their own input, and normally the quiet ones are the ones that have the best input.
Yeah.
So I've learned that it's really important to listen and be able to get little bits from everybody. So.
For sure. And when you listen and you give people that opportunity, maybe it gives you an opportunity to build capacity in them.
Yeah.
So I love that. So who's your favorite player? And who do you think you pattern yourself after?
So there are two pitchers, Marcus Stroman, who just got traded to the Yankees, and then Spencer Strider, who's the Braves' favorite, which he just got hurt. And I haven't really had many pitching coaches in my life, so most of my stuff is self-research and teaching myself, and so I really pattern myself off of guys in the MLB who aren't quite as tall, because I'm not as tall. And so it's really important to see how they move and mimic their behaviors. And so I really like researching them. They both move well, and I don't know. I love watching pitching, so that's important to me.
And you tell me, what other positions do you play?
I also play shortstop, and I back cleanup. So,
nice. Okay.
Coach Kaz at Air Force said, "Don't count me out for a two-way player yet." So I may go there and play a little shortstop. So we'll see.
Nice. Good deal. Well, one thing I don't know that I've said to you, because I didn't get an opportunity to join the session, but you were one of the featured athletes at Showcase of Schools.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if you know this, hopefully you do, but there were so many positive compliments that were made by people who came in, who heard you speak and share some things about your experience. So I want you to know how much I appreciate that. And
yes,
certainly, with Vincent being, my heart and a place that I love very much. It was really heartwarming to know that we had a Vincent athlete that was in that building
Yes,
and was representing the best of our district. So I just, again, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So, and here's the thing I want to challenge you on, because I have one in my office. All right. So last year I know the whole root beer story. I have a root beer
Yes, sir.
in my office. So share with the audience the root beer story as it relates to the team.
So we had a senior last year, Zach Carlisle, and he loves WWE. And so I think it kind of comes from like Stone Cold Steve Austin talking about beers, but we talk about root beer.
Yeah.
And so every strikeout that we get on the baseball team, we call it a root beer. And so if I get my 10th strikeout of the game, the whole dugout's yelling, "We got 10 root beers." And so it just came some weird tradition that we have. And so we're trying to carry it on. We've held off in regular season because we wanted to get to the playoffs back to where it started last year. But I'm excited to get that started back up.
I have one from last year.
Yeah.
I need another one from this year.
I got you.
All right?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that.
Hopefully it's got a blue map beside it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, Aiden, thank you. Thank you for joining us. I can't say enough how proud I am of you, and certainly all the things that you've accomplished, but even more so the things that are in the future for you. I love your perspective. I appreciate your approach to leadership, and I'm just, thrilled to see what's in store for you moving forward. So,
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
congratulations. Congratulations on everything that you've accomplished so far, and I know that there's more to come.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you all for joining us on One-on-One with Dr. Brooks. I love these examples of students who are looking to accomplish amazing things. I love their connections to their schools, to their programs. And again, it exemplifies so much how important this work is, so that whatever we do as teachers and leaders, we're creating opportunities for our kids to be successful in the future. And obviously, Aiden is going to be successful no matter where he is, not only because of the things that he's done with teachers here at this school, but also because of his personal drive to be the best that he can be. Thank you all, and again, we appreciate you watching One-on-One, and we look forward to you catching another episode. Take care.